Hi, I'm Josh Means. This is Crash Course World History, and today we're going to be talking about the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. On June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand was shot and killed by 19-year-old Gavrilo Princip. Leading up to this, the Austro-Hungarian Empire had recently annexed Bosnia and Herzegovina, which the Serbs believed should be part of their empire. In response to this, the Black Hand, a Serbian terrorist organization, plotted an attempt to kill the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, Franz Ferdinand. On top of this, June 28th was the Archduke's wedding anniversary. How do you like that for an anniversary gift, Stan? On today's episode of Crash Course, we have a special guest joining us.
Hi, my name is Ivan Radovanovich.
Mr. Radovanovich, where were you on the day of Franz Ferdinand's assassination?
Well, I was walking on the sidewalk watching the parade when I heard two gunshots.
And what exactly did you see happening?
I saw Franz and his wife Sofia get shot and fall with trails of blood running from their bodies.
How do you think the people of Sarajevo felt about this?
Well, we were very excited to have a new emperor to the Austro-Hungarian throne, and we were very surprised to see the Serbians shoot our new emperor. Everyone was sad to see him go.
That was a pretty good description of what happened, but let's take a closer look. Early that day on June 28, 1914, Franz Ferdinand was traveling to the town hall when Gavrinović threw a bomb at the Archduke's car. Luckily, the bomb bounced off the car, but it injured many bystanders at the parade as well as a few of Franz's staff. As stated in the New York Tribune, the crowd was in a panic, which, however, was soon checked, for Gavrinović was fleeing from the police and soldiery. He dashed through the crowd, shuttling in and out, as hundreds of hands clutched at his clothes and tore them from him, and blows fell upon his head and shoulders. Rifle bullets crackled after him as he leapt for the bank of the river Miljacka. As Franz was returning from his town hall meeting, Gavrilo Princip popped out from the parade and put 2 bullets through Franz Ferdinand. The bullets also tore through the Archduke's wife, and they both died shortly after while being rushed to the hospital. Count Franz von Herrick, one of the members of Franz Ferdinand's staff, said, "As the car quickly reversed, a thin stream of blood spurted from His Highness's mouth onto my right cheek. As I was pulling out my handkerchief to wipe the blood away from his mouth, the Duchess cried out to him, 'In heaven's name, what has happened to you?' At that, she slid off the seat and lay on the floor of the car, with her face between his knees." And now we're back with Ivan Radovanovich. Ivan, how were the people of Sarajevo affected by Franz Ferdinand's assassination?
Well, Mr. Means, the town was wild with grief and horror. The people were shocked and feared that more tragedies would happen. All across Europe, people were surprised by this catastrophe. Through the streets of Sarajevo, the people stood mourning with black dress and hung black flags from their house in memory of Franz. Later after the assassination, riots against the Serbs broke out throughout Sarajevo. 2 Serbs were killed during this time, and it eventually turned into a massacre. All over, people were stricken with sadness and anger towards the Serbians.
And why was Franz Ferdinand's death so tragic?
Well, you see, Mr. Means, in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, there are both Austrians and Hungarians. The Austrians do not allow anyone but royalty in the emperor's position, but the Hungarians, however, allow anyone in this position. And since Franz Ferdinand is the next emperor to be, and his wife is not of royalty, he is in favor of the Hungarians and supports their independence. With Franz Ferdinand's death, the Hungarians were devastated, and their opportunity for independence was gone. Because
of his actions, Gavrilo Princip was put on trial before the Austro-Hungarian court. During his trial, he stated, "I am a Yugoslav nationalist, and I believe in the unification of all South Slavs in whatever form of state, and that it be free of Austria." When he was asked of his intentions, he said, "To destroy from above, to do away with those who obstruct and do evil, who stand in the way of the idea of unification." And now we're back once again with our special guest. Ivan, how could the assassination of one man possibly start an entire world war?
Well, you see, Mr. Means, the assassination sparked turmoil and tension within the Balkan region, especially between the Austro-Hungarians and the Serbians, which caused violence between them. This activated a series of alliances in Europe, which brought Germany, Belgium, France, Great Britain, and Russia into the war. As stated in the New York Times, those 2 shots brought the world to arms, and the war that followed has brought a devastation upon 3 continents and profoundly affected 2 others. Nation after nation has been drawn into the whirlpool, and more are drawing toward it, and the end is far off. What face will the world wear when it's all over, no man can predict, but it will be greatly changed, and not geographically alone. Although there were other factors that led to the First World War, the death of one man created the first total war in all of world history.
In a letter from Franz Joseph to the foreign minister of Austria, he said, "The complete extent of this abominable assassination can hardly be realized. At all events, it appears undeniable proof, if indeed any were yet lacking, of the impossibility of extinguishing the hatred between the monarchy and Serbia, as well as the danger and the violence of the pan-Serbian propaganda, which hesitates at nothing. The monarchy must expect in the future to deal with the bitter, irreconcilable, and aggressive enmity of Serbia." A month after he wrote that, the Austro-Hungarian Empire declared war on Serbia, which led to a series of conflicts. Although World War I didn't accomplish much, it did demonstrate how one man's death can have enormous repercussions. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.